All right, what's going on, everybody? This is Fant4sy here. We've got Landon.
Andrew.
Board.
Doug.
What's going on, everybody? Glad to have y'all with me. We can go ahead and get into it. We'll go ahead and start off with something we learned the previous week. And at this point, we're in week 14. So last week is week 13. And I know we decided to do one thing we learned instead of two, but mine correlate with each other. So I'm going to go ahead and spit them out real quick. Christian Watson, the last month, has just been him. He's a mid-range wide receiver one in every single game he's played. He's had 8 touchdowns and 99.2 PPR fantasy points in that span of 4 games, which is just absurd, averaging about 25 a week. And he has an amazing playoff schedule. He goes against the Rams, who give up the 7th most fantasy points to receivers. He goes against the Dolphins, who give up about the 17th most. That'll be a shootout. And then lastly, he's got the Vikings, who give up the 2nd most fantasy points to wide receivers. So I expect Christian Watson to probably win some championships this season. And with that, Aaron Rodgers still to the Bears after we just saw from this past week, bringing his record to 24-5 against the Bears, and he just beat them in Chicago. So he still owns the Bears. So that's what I learned.
Yeah, that's good. This week was a big week for the Eagles, I think. We learned that Jalen Hurts is a legitimate MVP candidate. He's led his team to big wins. They're not fluke wins. They're playing good teams. Tennessee struggled every once in a while this year, but they're fully healthy right now for the most part. And they got crushed by Jalen Hurts, threw for 380 yards and only 10 incompletions on the game out of his almost 40 attempts. For a team that's claimed to be a rushing team, they ran for 67 yards and won by 25 points. So even if they can't run the ball, they made it very clear that they don't need to. A.J. Brown is an amazing option for Jalen Hurts. Having him and Devontae Smith together was the best thing that could ever happen to them. They're going to keep winning games, and they're not a fluke team this year. That's what I learned.
I'm going to go with the Bengals early season worries over. Kind of struggling the beginning of the year. But I'm been better recently, but I think that win over the Chiefs kind of cements them as a legit Super Bowl contender this year. That's all I got.
I got the Cleveland Browns. The quarterback situation right now is kind of wishy-washy with Jacoby Brissett and Deshaun Watson. I feel as a Browns fan, I'd rather Jacoby Brissett out there than Deshaun Watson at the moment because he has experience and the time in, and he's put up good numbers this season despite our defense. That's one thing I've learned, and they have to make a decision soon.
Yeah, I was big on Deshaun myself, so I hope he gets it turned around. But yeah, if he doesn't, Jacoby's going to be good. He's for the Browns.
Like, he hasn't done anything bad, really,
Yeah.
besides the toes here and there.
Seems like everybody in Cleveland likes him, so they wouldn't be. I don't think it'd be too bad if Brissett went back in. But we'll go ahead and move on to our highlighted games of Week 14 and our predictions for them. We'll go ahead and start off with the Ravens and Steelers. This game is getting played in Pittsburgh. Steelers are 2.5-point favorites here. Personally, I'm taking the Steelers. If TJ Watt's been limited this week in practice, if he's a full go, if he plays this week, I don't think it's going to be a close game with no Lamar. They got Huntley, but we'll see how it goes. But if TJ plays, I think the Steelers will win pretty easily.
I think TJ playing has a big impact on this game. But I also think that it would be close regardless. I think this game's going to be tight no matter what happens. Even with Huntley playing, Steelers offense just has to figure out what their identity is. Are they going to run the ball more? Are they going to throw the ball? Who are they going to throw it to? We're having some identity problems with, is Pickens your number one guy? Is Deontay Johnson? It's just a lot of uncertainty out there on offense. Defense has played very, very well as of late, but against who? I mean, no one really notable. So hopefully they keep building momentum. I'm going to say Pittsburgh wins this one, and it's a close one by 3.
Yeah, I agree. I think Pittsburgh gets the win. I mean, Baltimore could barely beat a god-awful Broncos last minute. With no Lamar again this week, I think Mike Tomlin still finds a way to finish 500.
Yeah, I mean, to copycat off all y'all, I feel the same with Lamar out. They're not going to do much. It will be a close game because these two teams are rivals and have been for a long time. So I do think it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good one, but I have the Steelers winning as well.
Well, Queen's action on first pick. Let's go. This next one, it's the New York Jets playing the Bills in Buffalo. The Bills are 9.5-point favorites here. Personally, I think the game's going to be closer than 9.5 points. I think the Jets are very good this year, and I think they will give Josh Allen some fits, like some true fits. I mean, Mike White. I mean, where's this guy come from? 300 yards plus past 2 weeks. Like, I mean, I know he's had 2 interceptions last week, but I mean, it's better than Zach Wilson by a landslide, in my opinion. He's giving Garrett Wilson a chance, or even Elijah Moore is actually doing some stuff right now. But I think this game's gonna be closer than 9.5 points. But in Buffalo, I'm going the Bills here.
Jets put up a good fight last week against the Vikings, who are a really, really good team. Yeah, Mike White threw for 370, but he also threw the ball 60 times. That's not sustainable. You can't throw the ball 60 times in a game and expect to win, especially with a quarterback like Mike White. Maybe you have a guy like Mahomes out there. It's a different story. But their run game is still fine with their backups. They find a way to run the ball well. I'm going to say Buffalo wins this one in a close one.
I'm going with Buffalo too, but I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a 2-possession game at the minimum. I just don't think the Jets will be able to do anything to the Bills defense. They just don't have any. I just don't know who they have as any weapons to anything. The Bills have one of the better defenses in the league. And, I mean, I don't know. I just think that Josh Allen, that Bills offense is way too good for the Jets to stop the whole game.
I have the Bills in this too, but like Andrew Landon said, I believe it'll be a close game. The Jets have a young offense that they've been calling people up to the plate, like Zonovan Knight last week, and he played good. He ran the ball good for the amount he got, the carries he got. Thank you, Landon. But however, the Bills, like Ford said, they're one of the best teams in the league. Josh Allen leading it. You can't really go against it. It's in Buffalo, so the fans there go crazy, break tables, eat chicken wings, whatever the deal is. I don't think it's going to be a 2-possession ball game though. I definitely think it's going to be 1 possession max.
All right, back-to-back clean sweeps.
Can't get any closer
All
to
right,
such a
now
game, Doug.
The last time I think I went too far on my picks. I just reached out on too many and I got too many wrong. So I'm keeping it conservative.
I get you.
makes sense. So we have 2 clean sweeps. I think that might end here. Cleveland and Cincinnati. Browns at Bengals in Cincy. If the Bengals can beat Patrick Mahomes in Cincinnati, I don't see how they're going to have any problems beating Deshaun Watson in Cincinnati. So give me the Bengals here in an easy one. It's a 6-point spread for the Bengals. I think that's going to be rushed. Maybe even they might win by 17 points this week. But yeah, I'm going the Bengals here.
17 points it's a lot of points. I'm going to say Cincinnati wins this one too. They're at home. Deshaun Watson hasn't played enough. I think Deshaun Watson plays better this week. I don't think he can play any worse than he played last week. He'll get back into the flow of things. Maybe they'll run the ball more with Nick Chubb. But I think this is a big Joe Mixon week coming back from a concussion, and they'll win by 2 possessions.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Landon and Andrew. I mean, coming off that momentum, off that Chiefs win, getting Mixon back, offense going to be more dangerous. Cleveland's defense has been sorry all year, and Deshaun has proved they can't do nothing on offense. So.
Doug.
Well, gentlemen, I believe the Browns are going to prevail in this game. Because I don't know if y'all watched last week, because not many people did watch the game, but I watched the Texans-Browns game last week. The defense scored 27 points.
That's the
So well,
the
still, I mean,
one
that's a
to
big morale boost. It's a big morale boost, I feel like, for the defense, and they might play a lot better and play a better caliber this week. And Deshaun Watson basically is going to have to be the deciding factor in that game for the Browns, at least. If he plays good, the game will be good. If he does not, it will not be a good game.
I mean, is Davis Mills still their quarterback, right?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
it?
Those Kyle.
It's Kyle Allen.
No,
Yeah,
Kyle
Kyle
Allen.
Allen came in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Kyle Allen.
But yeah,
It was horrible.
going
by
from
the way.
Kyle Allen to Joseph Burrow is
Defense might not be scoring
and
27
Jamar Chase.
points.
Yeah,
Although he did throw Burrow threw 3 picks against us in week 1.
Yeah.
So maybe you hold on to that, but that was week 1. So
They don't have a TJ or Minka though, so
they don't have anybody.
Have a Miles
But-
Garrett.
yeah, Miles Garrett. But other than that, free pitcher. We'll go ahead and move on to what I see being a very fun game this week. High scoring, in my opinion. I think it's going to reach 50, 55. The Vikings and the Lions. It's being played in Detroit. The Lions are 2.5 favorites here. I'm a big Jameson Williams guy. It's his second week this season to be actually playing, and I don't see him doing much, but just to see him gradually work into the offense with Amon-Ra, and I think if they get Swift back to his 100% health that he was, and Jamal Williams, I feel like they could really have a good offense. Like they could get him somewhere, but the defense is just the killer. So I think Kirk and Justin Jefferson are going to do their thing this week and beat the Lions in Detroit.
I got the Lions winning this one. They're favored in this game, which might be a surprise to some people. I think the Vikings are a very good team, but they're also one of those teams that can lose to anybody in the league. And Detroit's one of the teams that can beat anybody in the league, just randomly. They have a high-powered offense. I think they're going to score a lot, and Kirk Cousins is going to make one too many mistakes, and the Lions are going to win this one.
I really do think this could go either way. Like y'all said, it's gonna be high scoring. I want to say the Lions, but I just don't see them coming out with the win over the Vikings. I think the Vikings are gonna make a late drive and win the game.
Well, when I got on ESPN to look at the game yesterday, I saw the spread, and I thought it was like a mix up or like not supposed to be right. Well, I did research, and I do think Vegas is going to win on this one and take everybody's money on the Vikings 2+5 or not 2+5 +2.5 because the Lions are going to win. I based that decision purely off Vegas because why bread like that, and I just don't make any sense. So I believe that the Lions are going to win because they're favorited and they're not supposed to be favorited. So that's my take on that. Y'all
Shout out
done said
Vegas.
everything about that game, so.
Shout out Vegas. We got a divisional matchup here: the Eagles and the Giants. It's in New York. The Eagles are 7-point favorites here. I just don't think the Giants will be able to keep up with Jalen Hurts and that offense they have. I mean, I just don't. It's really not fair, in my opinion. But if you're a big Saquon guy like myself, I don't think he's going to have a good week this week. I believe they'll be playing from behind the entire game. They'll be having to throw the entire game. So I don't think Saquon's going to get much work on the ground this week. So I wouldn't expect a huge outing from him. So I'm taking the Eagles here.
I'm with you there. I think the Eagles are very high-powered, and Saquon can only do so much. It's been a great season. The Eagles have carried both me and themselves to 11 wins this year. Shout out to A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. It's going to be too much for them. And they're going to come away with a big win by 17 plus, I think.
I agree. I'm going with the Eagles here. I think I'm not a believer in the Giants at all. I think the most inaccurate record, like how good they actually are. No weapons on offense besides Saquon. I just think they're sorry. I think the Eagles have chosen or have proven that they're the real deal, and this is a 2-touchdown game at the minimum.
Yeah, I have the Eagles here, man. I'm a big Jones guy. I just wish the guy would, be good, for a season. It would make me happy. But the Giants, like everybody just said, they ain't really got anybody to stop the Eagles' offense. So the Eagles are taking this one as well.
Yeah, aren't you a Daniel Jones stan too, Ford?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
No, just a fantasy Daniel Jones stan.
Hell no. That boy's sorry.
All right. Sorry, I guess I just thought of the wrong thing. All right. Next, I think this could be let me not. This will be the second most exciting game this week. The Bucks and the Niners. This one's being played in San Fran. I think Tom Brady's going to just absolutely lose his mind this week. I think that after what just happened and against the Saints, what he have I mean, he played horribly. I mean, until the last 2 minutes of the game, just classic Tom Brady. And so I think the Niners are going to give him so many fits, and I think that they're going to win by a good margin unless they keep it close and he can do another 2-minute miracle again. But yeah, even without Jimmy G, I think Purdy can get it done with all the weapons they have in San Francisco. So give me the Niners here.
I'm really back and forth here because Tom Brady can win any game he wants to. But this defense, it's so good. It's the best defense in the league. I'm going to go with the 49ers here.
Yeah, I'm going with the Niners too. I think they're playing one of the hot teams in the league right now, and just have so many weapons. It doesn't matter who's at quarterback. They're on a roll, and I just don't think the Bucks are going to be the one to stop them.
I got one word, and that's GOAT. And that's what Tom Brady is. And Tom Brady on the road this week is going to win the game against the 49ers because he is the GOAT. And there's really no other explanation than that.
I like that pick.
You don't need
Is there
nobody.
a more difficult task, like just going into San Francisco and beating San Francisco? Like as
going
a quarter,
going into
I don't
Kansas
know
City and beating Kansas City is tougher.
Yeah. So here, this is what I believe will be the most exciting game this week. I believe it's the Sunday night game, the Dolphins and the Chargers. This one's being played in LA. I can't wait to see this one. I'm ready to see Keenan Allen back on the field. It feels like he's actually healthy now, and Herbert actually has a healthy target other than Gerald Everett and Joshua Palmer. Not that they're bad, but he wants his old guys back, obviously. So I know the Dolphins have been incredible this season, but I think at home the Chargers offense clicks like they haven't all season, like just clicks perfectly against this Dolphins team, and I think they beat Miami.
There's a reason they flexed this game to Sunday night instead of the Denver game, not just because no one wants to watch Denver, but because every Chargers game is close. And that's exciting. So this will be another close game, I think, but I think it'll be a big Justin Herbert statement game. Chargers are going to win this one.
I think it's going to be a very good game, close, high scoring. Herbert's getting some of his weapons back, like y'all said, but I do think the Dolphins are going to back off last week, and Mike McDaniel's not going to let them lose 2 weeks in a row. So I'm going with the Dolphins here.
Yeah, man. I got Justin Herbert on my fantasy team, and he's done me good all season. He hasn't had many wide receivers to throw to. I have Gerald Everett on my team as well, so I've been rooting for them two all season. But I do think the Dolphins are going to come out with this win as well. Um, I believe that Tyreek and Jalen can carry them far against the defense. But that's pretty much it. Y'all covered everything else about it. It's going to be high scoring, competitive. Go J Herb.
And so I'm guessing this game will be on Monday night since it's following. So the Patriots and the Cardinals. This one's being played in Arizona. The Patriots are 1 point favorites here. Looking like Kyler will be back on the field this week. Teaming back up with D Hop. I know the Patriots defense have been probably like subpar this season, so I don't think DeAndre Hopkins is going to have an issue this week. He's going to get open, and the Cardinals are going to have a lot of control here, I think, and I'm going Arizona here.
Only reason New England would win this game is because Bill Belichick is their head coach. I'm going to say Arizona's going to win it, in a weird one probably.
Yeah, I'd say this is one of the most evenly matched games of the slate. I mean, two very mediocre teams. I mean, yeah, the Patriots got Belichick, like Andrew said, so I mean that could go in favor. But it's at Arizona, so I'm going with the Cardinals, and Kyler's coming back.
Yeah, Kyler coming back will be a huge push for the Cardinals. I haven't really watched much of these two teams this year. I think I watched the Cardinals and Seahawks game. I think that's about it. But I do feel like the Cardinals at home strong, and especially if Kyler comes back, I think the Cardinals are going to take it as well.
All right. Well, that sums up our highlighted games and picks for that. So we'll move on to our last and final portion, which will be the pick of the week. Prize picks, underdog, flip, whatever you play on, just prop. I'll start it off. I'm going with Isaiah Pacheco over 66.5 rushing yards. I'm big game script guy on this one at least. I'm thinking the Chiefs get out to an early lead against Denver. Denver's not going to be able to keep up with, Mahomes. I mean, they have an all right defense, but their offense just doesn't compare whatsoever. It's not going to be close. I think they'll just be running the ball for the majority of the second half. So give me Pacheco over 66.5 rushing yards.
I'm going to go with Davante Adams over half a receiving touchdown. I know it might be a controversial pick, but Jalen Ramsey's having an off year this year. It's been very sad to watch. He hasn't been horrible. It's just he's not a top 5 corner in the league right now. I think Davante Adams has a lot to prove with Derek Carr and the whole rest of the squad this week against a Rams team that, let's be honest, will probably give the Raiders the ball a lot on Thursday night, no matter who's the quarterback. I'm going to go, half a touchdown. Go over half a touchdown for Davante Adams this week.
I'm going to go with Tua over 285 pass yards this week. I think Dolphins-Chargers going to be a very exciting game. Tua's actually only gone under this prop one time this year when he's passed more than 20 times in a game. You got a struggling Chargers pass defense, especially over the past few games. I don't see him going under this.
I got Nick Chubb at 67.5 rushing yards. I took it earlier in the week, so it got bumped to 70.5. But I feel like with him on the ground, he's really the one thing that the Browns have on offense that they can always rely on and point to whenever they're down bad. And they will get down bad in that game most likely. So I feel like that's a pretty safe prop to pick.
Yeah. Well, all right. I appreciate everyone for tuning in. That will conclude Fant4sy podcast for this week, and we'll see you guys next week.